is Tea Time Book Club with, go ahead and say your guys' names.
I'm Marine. Layla.
Nadira.
Melissa.
Armani.
Brittany.
Ashley.
It's not Brittany.
Oh, Lily.
And Jada! With our head of the department here, Miss Melissa. Give her a round of applause.
First of all,
Government.
I just want to make a statement.
Right. Oh man.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
We're starting with the statement, okay?
Okay.
2016 was a lit year. Like, I have nostalgia.
Oh.
2016 was...
2016
wait, what was that one song by Drake, Controlla? It was on and popping. My head was nice and
Right.
Work
long.
came
I thought it was
out.
I was all
Right.
tan. I was living. I
The
was
summer
being
of
body booed
2016
up. It
was probably
great. It
the
was
best
great.
summer I've ever
Yeah.
experienced in all of my
And can I
20
just
years
say
of
that's
life.
so special that like literally I feel like everyone has such a positive feeling towards 2016. Like I've never
Yeah.
seen anybody like, oh, 2016 was such a bad year. Like
It
everyone,
was great.
it was such positive vibes.
Something
And
was in the air.
I think something was definitely in the air,
And
it
then,
kind of
like-
went downhill from there.
Where's that air now?
Right.
Yeah, how many
It's actually been corrupted because,
global warming? It's real.
global warming's definitely real, and also
Literally.
there's still lead in some of America's
Also,
water. but
why-
we're not gonna get
why
into
does
that.
Flint have
Okay.
water?
All right. No politics. We're going back to topic,
Does
please.
politics or life?
Definitely, I agree. Like summer of 2016, like it was like no other.
Right.
What grade were
Right.
most of us in?
I was a
Not even,
sophomore.
I was. If you were a sophomore, I was
No,
a
we were transitioning
freshman.
into sophomore.
Yeah,
year.
I was a
transitioning into
freshman.
junior
That was
year.
good. That was
I was on the
honestly-
block all
2016.
summer.
I don't
I
remember.
don't know.
I'm sorry.
8th grader. I was in
I was
8th
on the
grade.
block all
No,
summer.
really?
No,
You're
I
mad.
I think I was
skinny.
I graduated
Pardon?
2016 from middle
Oh
school.
my god,
Skinny.
Wow.
skinny legend.
I
That
remember
is
because
mad.
like
Oh
on my
yeah,
sunglasses, it says my-
Oh yeah, freshman year.
I look
I was pretty.
great.
I was
did.
freshman.
Freshman year, I looked
Oh
bad.
yes,
Now I'm
I was.
fat.
I was like, I was on my prime. Like
I
my hair
think
was
I played a
long.
sport.
I think my body was looking kind of right or whatever. But like the emphasis on the or whatever. But
I'm
kind of it just really went downhill from there. Like
Right.
look like I was in 6th grade. Facts. Like I still look like a
Same.
7th grader. Like nothing
Right.
changed.
no, my face hasn't changed like at all. It's just the same.
You have the-
It's
My
been the
face got
same for
fat.
years though. It's okay. We love you.
What I used
we're
to
not
call
gonna talk
a
about
lemonhead?
it. I'd rather you guys not.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
No, like freshman year was like. I feel like freshman year for a lot of people was just like a bad time.
Right.
No,
It was.
but
Right.
I mean,
No,
I
freshman
feel
year
like,
for me was terrible.
Nah, it's
You're
dry.
right,
Everyone
like-
says that junior year. Like, sorry for the people that can compare and don't have junior year. Like you don't know about it.
Oh.
But like people say that junior year is the worst, and I feel
It
like
is.
It is.
It's
It
stressful.
is. Junior year was absolutely.
You didn't think
lit.
I didn't feel it. There's some.
Junior year
Are we talking about like
terrible.
grades or like
I
drive
wanted
or
to-
like?
But like,
But like
is it-
grades wise,
yeah.
like
no, but like
relationship, friendship wise,
Everything was bad for me.
Like
Right.
Everything was just bad.
Yeah,
Like
everything
for me,
was-
everything was just terrible.
I mean, it wasn't bad for me, but I feel like I'm asking more if it was bad in the sense that everyone makes it out to be like it's the pre-SATs, you have to start thinking about college. Like I'm not asking about like how was your
Because-
personal life in junior year, like how was your school life junior
No,
year?
No,
Terrible.
it was so bad.
It was so bad.
I could tell
Yes.
you
It was terrible.
Bro,
I was
I
like,
transferred out of Braytech. I was
My
living
hardest
life.
classes were junior year, like literally.
No, my
So
hardest
you would
class
say
this
that
year.
it's the most stressful year?
Yes.
As far
Yeah,
as-
definitely
Yeah.
stressed, but I wasn't
Because like the
that
thing
bad
is,
about it.
they say, sorry, they're like, oh, you gotta like start your college process as a freshman, and then they don't remind you about it. And then it's like junior year, everything piles on top of you because now you have to look for recommendations. Now you gotta start
I
thinking
agree.
about
Oh, yeah,
college,
I
and you
agree.
still gotta start,
Scholarships.
SATs
Well, that's
and
part
stuff
of
like that.
what we all do, and that's procrastinating.
Nobody. No, but I feel like it's
Last
not
minute.
even procrastinating. Nobody tells you beforehand
Mhm.
that freshman and sophomore year actually matter.
No,
Yeah.
Like,
they
they-
all the time. They drag it. They're like,
No, they didn't
never.
for me.
I feel
They
like
didn't tell
nobody
us
ever
that.
told me like, oh hey, by the way, like this adds up at the end. Nobody said,
yeah.
oh,
It
just to make
does?
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's everything you
Wait,
Your
do.
overall
Right.
GPA at the
Everything
end
just
of it is
piles
the end
up.
of the year
Smacks you in
GPA
the
for
face.
each year.
Yeah.
And nobody told me like, hey, while you're like as a freshman, you should be here. You should understand this. You should feel this. You should be this. You know.
Yeah.
Sophomore year, this is kind of where you should be. You should be
Sophomore
kind
year's a
of
weird year.
more
'Cause
comfortable
you're like,
taking
Right.
risks.
It's not your first year. It's not your last. You're like just kind of stuck in the middle. Like,
Right.
You're just like,
Sophomore year was
you
great
can't
though.
drop out. It's
I
just
think
like-
all my friends were seniors,
I
and that's
like
why it was so
sophomore
great
year.
because I had all like
Interesting.
all the
Cool.
all the
Oh, okay.
Slightly confused.
All the juice back in sophomore year.
No.
What?
You want to elaborate
Right.
on what juice you're talking about?
Yeah,
Juice
'cause
was. All my friends
The juice, the
were
sauce.
seniors. All of my like older friends was the staff.
You know she was getting
Was
down.
it stress?
I was like honestly, my sophomore year was probably my peak academically in high school.
Right.
I think so too.
My
Oh,
GPA was my
Honestly,
highest sophomore year.
I don't think I've ever
I
had
finished.
better grades
I
in
kid you
sophomore
not. I finished my sophomore year with like a 3.6. I finished freshman year with a 1.6.
Wow.
Wow.
See?
Wow.
I mean,
Like,
honestly,
That was a
What?
major improvement.
like something that everyone
Major.
should know, especially if they're like on their first 2 years of high school, is that like even if you don't do the best your first 2 years, there's room for improvement because then you could talk to colleges and like, or at least in your essay include like, yeah, maybe I didn't have it together. Obviously not those words, but like
I
maybe
made
I
that
didn't
come
have it
up.
together freshman and sophomore year, but I'm capable. I got it together, and you could reflect that with your grades, so it's not as bad. So like it's
Yeah.
not over for you if you messed up really badly. At the
And it's
beginning.
also just like
Right.
they never elaborated as much as this is where you should start doing like
Exactly.
your programs and your academic like like your extracurriculars. Like they don't tell you that. So like when it gets to junior year, it's like, okay, so what clubs have you been in? What activities do you do outside of school? And it's like, wait, I was supposed to do all that? Like
Right.
Yeah.
And
I
they
kind
were
of
just-
smushed all of the clubs and activities into like the last 2 years of high school.
really?
And it's like, so where were you?
I know.
Before?
I'm literally doing all of my
That's what I'm looking at
clubs
right
and
now.
activities
this
year.
like
And it's
last
really
year
hard
and this
as
year
is.
we're pretty much
This is what I'm saying.
So is the staff or whoever's preparing your schedules not telling you how important it is to join
No.
clubs, become
No,
an
I don't-
athlete,
I
or
don't
anything
think
like
that's-
that?
They sprinkle
They
a little
don't-
now and then. They're like, you should be in the club. It looks nice on your resume, but it's not like, guys, like this
You
actually.
So what is
helps
a what is a
tonight.
But it's-
conversation sitting with your counselor like?
okay,
Like,
so
I like how
Like,
it's
once a
all
year.
Our counselor
Once a
every
she
year.
was pregnant majority of the time. So
No.
she was on maternity leave. Guess what? She's on maternity leave again.
No,
They
me
don't
too.
have a
Our
counselor.
counselor right here, gone.
Gone.
so
And
so
she
there's
does
no
this with the lady,
replacement
I don't
in
even
the
know like that.
meantime, or is it just
Even
hard
if there was a
to
replacement,
get a
the person they
relationship
have
with
are
a new person?
competent.
I
My
never
best-
liked her, but to be honest, I always knew I had to do something so it could look good on my college essay, but I never did it because I didn't put
But,
myself
like,
out there. So that was
There's
my fault.
so many factors in a college application. I hope that people know that like clubs only hold so much value as
Like,
things
Right.
compared to your
Yeah,
SAT.
yeah,
really
like don't
not.
stress
Well,
yourself
honestly,
about it.
because like
But
I didn't have like the most amazing
Right.
SAT, and my GPA wasn't amazing, and I was part of maybe 3 clubs, and most of my life was boys and girls club related. So I wasn't like in so many other things, and I mean I got accepted into up somewhere, so that means it doesn't really count. And I think I need to emphasize that like it needs to be something you're passionate about, because colleges, especially since they've been doing this for such a long time, they can pick up when you're doing stuff to pad up your thing. Though it has to be something you're passionate about. You have to like see a pattern. So like I work here, I volunteer, I have like a volunteer program. Like it fits if it's my characteristics. But you can't just be part of everything. Like I'm the king of chess club. I'm the president of chess club. I'm this. I'm that. It just seems like you're trying too much. You're trying too hard. And like colleges can kind of see that. So they're like, no, we want to like, what's the real you? Like we don't want you to do things for us. We want to see who you are as a person.
I feel like that's more emphasized in the essay more than like the
Yeah, you have to
clubs
really
and
finesse on your
activities.
essay, man.
What do you do your essay about? I'm like so. Everyone's like, you
There's
gotta write an
there's,
essay.
um,
Well,
on that essays,
but you could basically put it on.
You could
anything.
literally write whatever.
you
There's
can
not-
like talk about like if you've had like a hard time in life and how
Well,
you
not really.
overcame
So
that.
we learned that.
Yeah.
That's
Supposed
really
to
that's
read-
really
yeah.
not how it's supposed to be. We actually took a little class and we learned that we kind of been guiding you guys in the wrong direction, because we assume, because that's kind of what your counselors tell you, but from the program that we went to, we learned a little bit different. Yes, tell a story of yourself, but there's no need for you to get so personal. Provide some background history on programs maybe that you did, but you've already listed that in your application, so you don't need to repeat yourself. There's a lot of things that they kind of didn't tell us when you're filling out that, you know, part of the essay. And it's kind of like you guys are going back and you keep repeating. So like I helped a couple of kids, you know, in the last 2 years. And now that I actually took that program with you guys, I understand where once they filled out the application, they just literally repeated everything all over again.
Yeah, like they
That
pretty
they
much
put in that
told
release.
us.
It just gets redundant. They want to know more about you. That's like your essay
Yeah.
is your chance to show like your personality, like what it is about you that makes you you. Like if you write about on your list thing like, oh, I was a volunteer leader or whatever, and then you write your whole entire thing about volunteer leader thingy. That's all they'll know about you, and you really
The
have to
essay is
write
the
more.
time to put something that wasn't already
Yes,
asked on the
yes,
application.
Especially
something
if you like
unique.
did something like if
Like
something
what?
happened to you.
And
or,
not a
you know.
4-page letter. Like that's what they're not looking for.
Oh,
Like you
so
have.
they
we know
literally
we-
they have a word limit actually. It's 650.
Yes.
They do not want to know your whole entire life story.
No.
Mine was only 500.
Is it
Not
but
always.
505
I- I-
words.
The struggle.
No, this is
350.
Really?
Yeah, not always like
I want
life struggle.
over
Like
the
you
word
have to include other stories, but not always just like the bad.
No, I mean like there's a lot of people, and I mean I guess it's work for certain people. Like you can write a whole entire essay about your daddy issues and how it's affected your life, but like I mean like you don't have to tell all your personal problems. It's just I guess it's an option if you want to go ahead and tell complete strangers. Your
Like
life.
it doesn't have to
But
be
actually, the
personal,
only people
but it
that
has to be
read them,
personal.
remember, they're just like the interns in the office.
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
read
Yeah,
them.
Yeah,
They're
no,
not
that
even
too from other
anyone
colleges.
who's like in that mission.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And don't
it's
even
not
be
like
the
you see them, but
actual
I'm just saying, like,
admissions
if you feel
people, it's the
comfortable, of course.
interns.
I felt I wrote one, like when I first wrote my college essay, it was extremely casual, and I've always had a problem with writing how I speak rather than writing
How
like
you feel.
professional.
Mhm.
So I would be like, yeah, so that was great.
Oh, yeah, I know. Like the
That's
questions also you
definitely-
write the way that you talk.
Yeah, so I'd be
Oh
like,
yeah, I do that all the time. Like I
this
love writing
happened,
in
this
personal.
happened, and
Nah.
that was great. So let's just pick it up 3 years later when things actually picked up.
So like that's how like
And
that,
it was
that's how,
like,
yeah, I know what you
yeah,
mean.
so it was like,
I
it-
do that a lot.
it, like reading it, it made me feel like,
It was
okay, this is
okay.
great.
But actually, that's
But then-
we learned that's not bad though.
It's not. But
it's
when
not
I
bad.
brought it to like, I need you to, can you just make sure I didn't misspell any word? Like I'm comfortable with the way my essay is. Like I feel like
And they
This is
completely
a-
changed it into
this is
like
a
a
hitter.
paper.
they're like nah.
they were like, why are
Hey,
you so
yo.
casual? They're like, this is your college
Yeah, like-
essay.
Hey,
You
yo,
should feel
bro.
comfortable.
I mean,
But when
we
we
went
took
through
the
it, yeah.
when
They're
we
like,
took
no.
that
Right, but this is
program,
like,
they actually the stories
encouraged
that
it
they
otherwise.
gave it for examples were very casual.
this is
And
what I'm
I feel
saying.
like
They
as
were
they
very
should
casual.
because they're gonna obviously pick up if you're using big words like I don't know
This was
perpendicular.
expressionally-
like if you're adding like words, they're gonna be like you don't
Quadrilateral.
talk like this on like a regular
Regular.
basis. Like why are you like? There's just no need. Like you're really trying to show out, and they can definitely pick up, especially since they've been doing this for so long. Like they know
Yeah.
everything. Like they must.
But like you're not gonna write an essay on something. Ayo, bro. So
I mean,
boom.
There's a level of like casuality, and then there's is casuality. Is that supposed to be?
Casualty.
Wanna look it
The
up?
casualty.
No, so there's like a level
not killing
of
anyone, I
casuality, and then there's like a level of professionalness that you have to
Achieve.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
And I
mean,
feel
there's
like
a
if
fine
you-
line though.
right. I
And
feel
as
like
long
if
as
I
you
put
say
enough
it-
sarcasm in there, it sounds professional enough, and you're just gonna take it.
One thing I'm really good at doing, like with when it comes to like writing like an English paper or like even like college essay or whatever.
man.
I for some reason because I don't think I talk like with the most like biggest words and everything. But when it comes to writing, like words just come out of nowhere and like I make it
Extravagant.
sound like it'll be like about like the blandest topic and I'll turn it into something like
elaborate.
and my mom, I remember one time I wrote an essay like to get into this program or something like that. And my mom was reading it and she's like, "You're so extra." And I was like, "Well, I'm just trying to make it sound good." And she's like, "No, it's really good, but like you are so extra."
Wait, was it the Stanford Hospital thing? Because
Yeah, it
really
definitely
was.
Yeah,
It was.
It was that.
We definitely had to do
We
like a
don't
little
live in
writing.
Stanford.
And when I tell you what,
Yeah.
I was like,
I mean, you
pulling
guys
We
words
gotta
out
dead
of
live in
my
New London. It's
You were
okay.
there with me.
We don't.
I
live
mean,
in
so at
Stanford.
least like at the end of the day, it worked.
That's why I could do
Like,
a
I mean,
lot
I
of
guess
things
for certain
last minute.
situations, you do need to know how to write in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
There's always
Different
a time,
levels of
there's always a
writing,
time
yeah.
and a place.
I think
Yeah,
it's
a lot
for
of
me.
don't
I'm not
understand.
trying to read a paper that I can barely understand. Like if you're using like all these like big grammar words, like, and I
Well,
don't
there's a
understand
definition,
half
so-
of what you're talking about, I'm just gonna like completely disregard it because it's just like
That's
I don't
me with
understand what you're talking
Shakespeare.
about. Like
Right.
what are you talking
No,
about?
I feel like if I have to,
No.
I'm sorry. If I've got to break it down like that, I'm gonna get out the highlighter. little pen.
I don't feel like doing all that, so I'd rather not.
Might have a couple
edit,
sticky
somewhere
notes
edit.
like don't know what's going on here. Like,
Facts. What is this?
and if I got to do that, and if I can't read through it and be like, okay, I feel you. I'm here for it. I don't really agree with this, but I get it.
Like I'm not
Okay,
saying
that's
like
cool.
dumb it
Like-
all the way down.
Yeah, but
like
be able to.
like
Add a
put
lot
into
of
words
detail.
that we can
Detail.
understand and we're not
like you can
stressing.
use good grammar and good vocabulary, but if I can't understand it, it's kind of slow.
especially like I like when we do like assessments and then like at the bottom it will have like a little word bank of
Yeah.
Like what it means, because I'll read the story and be
I'm
like,
like what? But like some
Yo.
some stories that they hand us, it's like it's a really large word and you just don't understand what it is.
So
And
what-
especially with SATs, like it's a really big word
yo, I was
and
surprised
like
at
and
that
like it
door.
has different options and you're just
I
like
remember the SATs.
I don't know what any of
All
these
right,
words
wait,
mean.
let-
I'm the only
so
one
we
who's
just, like,
taking it this
geared
year.
up
Let's
all the
not
way.
talk about it.
I took it there.
Nothing here.
I feel like
I
the
did this
SATs
year.
and the PSATs cracked me up because we signed that paper.
They should.
That's the thing. Bye.
The door has
And he's
closed.
gone.
I'm telling you,
The door has
I feel like when
closed.
I took my PSAT and my SATs, they were like it was like super serious. I definitely slept like I don't know half an hour, 45 minutes, both sections. I still got pretty decent.
Yeah, but
Oh
I,
my
I
God.
just
I mean, I reached
I
1,000.
Like I do the most I can do.
And then I just take a nap.
Yeah, and then
like, what's the point?
and then I'll guess.
No.
And I'll be like, okay,
not
that's
encourage
that's
that.
That's
not
not
okay.
okay.
I reached 1,000. That was the goal.
I definitely
Yeah.
took a test last period, right? And my energy with tests is if I take the test, I'm
Andy's
writing down
back.
the answers or whatever. And then if I just don't know the answer and I skip them over, I can't do it. Like I literally just put an answer because if I don't know it now, I'm not gonna be a new person 5 minutes from now
Yes,
and
you will.
remember the answer.
Yes, you will.
cannot.
That's how
I
they
will
set the
not.
test up.
Personally,
If they're
I can't.
gonna,
I
they're
can't.
that's how they set the test up. So it'll be like, does red and blue make purple? If you take blue away from purple, do you get red?
I mean, sometimes, very
Yeah.
few times.
They'll
I've done
throw
tests like that.
they'll throw questions around like that and try to mix them up to a point where if you do leave
If
and
you
come
do
back,
know this one, you might know that
it'll
one.
Yeah,
put
like,
it
you're gonna-
together.
yeah, you're
Wait,
gonna
but like, what if one of those questions is like, okay, what's this? And then be like, how do you like? It was. Oh, I can't
your
explain it.
answer? Yeah.
And
Right,
it's like,
Jesus,
how
and then
does this
walk
have to
away.
do with this? And then you
And
gotta
it's just like, I don't know, it just does.
right.
Right,
Right.
Jesus,
No,
and
that's
walk
exactly
away.
what they did in the
Honestly,
SATs.
I
It's
like to use to break
what
it down.
what was the author's purpose? And you'd be like, okay, it was they wanted to inform the public, and then it's like, okay,
Which line?
Which
Yeah.
line
I-
best does this?
right,
One,
right.
two,
I was
3 to
so,
7, 8 to
like,
9, and I'm just like, you know what, man, just take my answer.
But the
I
thing
don't
is,
know how
when
it
I
works.
did the PSATs, I got extended time because my medical condition or whatever.
Mm.
And I only needed for like bathroom breaks. I was getting anxiety staying in the same place for so long. Actually, I don't want the extra time, but I was like, hey, when the SATs come around, I'm gonna need the extra time. So like,
Yeah,
I'm not
you're,
gonna
you're
sign it
really
on.
gonna.
You're
really
going
gonna
to,
need
because
that.
they're those questions.
I'm not
But
like
it got to the
quick.
point where like I'd go through the test and I'm like, okay, like
Oh,
I'd really fight through it so that I wouldn't fall asleep.
oh, it's
I
bad.
was struggling.
Oh,
with
yeah.
it.
Oh, by the
And
way-
I read those like damn essays,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh
No.
my god.
Especially
Wait.
when it's really long and like there's just a lot of words and a lot of hard
There's just
vocabulary.
And
You just start to like.
All right, so
Next
this
year.
is my
Oh, next
question.
year?
So how
This had nothing to do with nostalgia.
I know.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Like we completely veered off.
are you guys, how are you preparing
Jules.
for things like the SATs? Like
I
everybody
didn't.
here, why
Study.
don't you so
I
much
wouldn't
Pay attention to
You
class.
don't.
Like,
I
well,
read the book.
Unless you
I
There's-
did
I
a
did a
class.
book.
I took a class. I'm doing the most, and I got like 1,070.
But that's only
wow,
like
that's good.
And I
That
skipped.
was
I,
really
I
smart.
got like I
That's
guessed
what I
half
got.
of the time, and I still got good questions.
To
for
be
my
real,
They want
I
you
mean,
to.
you guys took the PSATs at the,
It's
at
for-
the other club, right?
Oh yeah, I
You guys
got
did-
like.
But
Yeah.
when they go through it, we don't sit in there with you. Do they actually go through the questions with you guys, or
No.
are you just practicing the test? Like
you're
they
just
give it to you and you're
practicing the
practicing
test.
the
Like
test.
literally, like the way the SAT is just thrown
Yeah,
at you
that's
and you
not
take
really
it, they do the same
prepared.
thing.
So there's no way to basically like prepare.
I mean, just
Well,
You
like,
They're
can if
definitely
you take the
prepared.
class.
Yeah, you
I
can
hear
go on
you.
Khan Academy because that's what I was doing because my math is like.
I did
No,
that
my math
Well,
is
Yeah.
the thing was,
I was on
so
Khan
bad.
And then I
Academy.
passed with I not passed, but I got a 1,040.
So if you could give
Wow.
advice
That
to
helps.
someone who has not taken it, like Layla hasn't taken
Get
it,
the book.
No,
what
get the
advice
book.
would you
No,
give her?
don't
No,
get the
no,
NS book. Go on Khan
Go to
Academy
Khan
and
Yeah.
just do the questions, the
Or
practice
that,
questions
or-
and whatnot,
not even.
and
Isn't
take
it
the practice
after-
test on
I-
there.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
isn't it after? Because I know what math you're taking. Isn't it geometry and then it's algebra 2?
No.
No, the what's it called it
Yeah.
on the PSAT?
Yeah,
it's-
I think it's
yeah,
algebra
that's
2,
geometry.
and that's the
Algebra
math
2.
that you need for the SAT.
Yes,
Alright.
I'm taking
That's
So
algebra 2
you'll
right
be
now.
fine.
So the other question with that is, so how early in advance would you tell someone to like start studying?
Freshman
Freshman
year.
year would be.
Not even.
I would say sophomore year. Like
Okay,
start doing it
sophomore.
sophomore year because that's when you
Yeah.
take the
Yeah,
second
dragging it.
PSAT.
Because even if
So
you try
that's
your
when
best
you
freshman
start,
year, who
like-
says you're
No,
gonna
you take the
remember
second
it?
PSAT.
Right.
That's
Right.
true.
Yeah.
Like
that's true.
after you take the second PSAT sophomore year, that's when you should start studying for the regular SAT.
Yeah.
I mean, most normal people get anxiety with the test
Oh,
like that.
I highly
It says
recommend.
on ours it
I
says
highly
9,
recommend
10,
taking
and
the
then
ACT as
prepare
well.
for that anxiety.
Nobody
like, does it
nobody
help you
really
in
talks
anything?
about the ACT.
Yeah,
I highly
there's a
recommend
lot
taking
of
it.
No one
and
take.
They don't promote it at all.
They don't-
do
yeah,
not
they
They don't
really,
promote
like,
it, but
here's
it's so
it.
much
I heard it was
easier
an
than the
easier
SAT.
test.
I feel like
it has
Sometimes
more
the first
science
one,
on it
But
though.
mind
That's
you,
the
not
thing.
all
That's why they don't
colleges
recommend it.
accept it. A lot of colleges, or at least the most like standard thing, is
They
the
offer
SAT.
both.
No, there are some schools that only want the SAT.
Yeah.
They do not want your ACT.
I don't
And
know.
I feel like it's
I
good
think
to
it's-
take
but the
the
thing is,
ACT though.
The ACT is more science based. That's why a lot
Yeah,
of
but I'm not
guidance
good at
counselors
science.
don't tell
I'm
you
not
to
good at
like.
science and math.
They're
So-
like, oh, it
So
doesn't hold a
you're
lot of
just-
The
weight.
only reason I actually
It
did good
depends.
on my
I barely know what
on my
1 plus
SAT
2
was
is.
because I
I'm
did
not
above
gonna do that.
average on the reading. That's the only way.
1
Because
plus
I
2 is
scored
3, sis.
below
That was
on
a
the
joke,
math. Like,
sis.
so I'm pretty sure that the average for math is 530.
Yeah.
I got 470. That's not very hot. But for the reading, the average was like 520, and I got like 680. So it's just
Also
like
better.
Hot dog.
So as far as the scores, so you obviously know what they're looking for beforehand, right?
Yeah.
So do you
Kinda.
set yourself like a goal, like
Yeah.
at least this first time for my pre-test, I'm going to set this goal for myself. Have you guys taken time to do that?
Your
That
college
wasn't
is
really-
what
I
really
did.
is.
Honestly, and I already
It's
said
work.
I don't even have
I
time
just-
to tell
okay,
you.
so
I gotta
colleges
just tell you
tells
how much
you,
they want.
like,
I'm over it.
What?
But as
what you
far
should
as
get
like the
on
practice
math.
test, you can take the practice test
Yeah.
a number of times. Like for the first time, do you go in and you say, okay, well this is what they're looking for, but this is what I think I can achieve at this time. Have you guys?
I winged it.
They don't.
I
They
winged
really
it,
don't
though.
have.
I was like,
like
and I got a
literally.
good ass score for my PSATs. I went
Right. We
Except
cursed
I-
on the podcast.
I'm sorry. Except I
Golly.
sorry.
Cheese
I
and
did
cracker.
I did an NCC I did NCC SAT prep because I'm one of those people that I need someone to explain it and show it to me. Like I need to hear it and see it to actually learn it. That's why I don't like Alex for us at like the tech, cause like I don't understand it. I don't get it
She
when
do
I'm
a
just
sub.
reading it and like seeing
That was
it.
direct.
I need
I
someone
don't
to
mind
explain
it.
it.
She had an
I
app.
miss Miss Mills because she
Well,
actually explained.
Was that the blonde?
Yeah.
I love her.
She actually, like, when we needed help, she sat down and explained it to us.
As
Like,
it should have been,
Their explanations, I understand what it means, but obviously you don't. So she'll sit down and explain it to us, or like break it down, or dumb it down, so we understand what it actually.
Yeah, because
The
I'm gonna be
reason it
asking
worked
10 million
was-
questions like,
no,
hey yo, like.
The reason it worked was because she made it feel more like a math class. Because if it weren't for her, it'd literally be people sitting at their computers looking at a screen that has math in it.
That's
That's
what I'm doing.
it
So,
is. Math class is you sitting there looking at
Do
a
you
computer.
feel like
I'm in
they set
algebra
the
two.
standard too high?
Would you-
Like the colleges are setting the standards too high, or
Not even
No, because you could always
that.
find a college that's in your range.
yeah, but
Yeah,
is
there's
that the
a lot of
college that
colleges.
you want to go to? I'm
Oh
talking
no, the
about
colleges
the
I want to
colleges
be
that
asking
you
a little too much. They act like I'm.
I don't think
go
so
for
though.
that.
Like I don't think it's like that. Like oh, they're asking for too much. I feel like for a certain like
He's entered and exited.
He laughed.
oh like
Door closed.
for a certain type of school, there's like a certain like I can understand like all Ivy League schools who want high SAT scores and stuff like that. They have a high name, like their name. Well, not like say they hold a lot of weight, but they're
It does.
very
No, it does.
like kind of, but like okay, I'll explain it like this. They have a very high name, as in a college, and like possibly helping you get a job, but not all the time. Because like there's been people who went to like Harvard and Yale who have said like they had a hard time finding a job.
No, but that goes
even
for
though
all
they
school.
went
College
there.
does not guarantee you a job. You can walk out and very actually.
No, but I'm
not
saying,
have
like,
anything to show for it.
For it to be an
That's
Ivy
scary.
League school, okay, the high SAT score and the high GPA, it makes sense. But like,
But I'd expect to get like a decent job or like a good chance of getting a job.
I
if
mean,
go
you'll get
to
a better
Ivy.
job than somebody that
I
just
mean,
has a high
the
school.
likelihood of you getting a job immediately, from what you have graduated from, like your degree, I don't think that that's likely.
Oh,
Not
I have
not
portable.
right
Yeah.
after
mean, like-
graduation. So you have to
Mhm.
prepare yourself.
Do you need a portable?
That's
You
what
know,
they say,
If you go
on
to like an
internships.
Ivy League, I mean like the effort you have to make to get into a school and the effort you have to do to make it through your first semester and then graduate,
Year 4.
you deserve the little perk of being like, okay, she went to like Yale or Harvard, we should give her the job. Like she has the experience and the knowledge, you know. Like she went through all these difficulties to get to this point. She should have opportunity.
No, I mean honestly,
but
That's
it
not life,
depends on
though.
the person because, like JD said, if you do internships and from another school, I would choose a person who has some actual experience working in the field
honestly,
over a person who just has
I feel like it goes.
in the field.
I feel like it goes like when you're picking a candidate for a job, it goes. First of all, who do you know here?
That's why you have to make connections.
Networking, connections, and all stuff
College
like
is about
that.
Connections.
That
You have to know people.
is over any school name. Like, okay, this
you can
Harvard,
make it quick. Okay, girl A
graduate.
went to Harvard. Girl B, I know her. She's my homegirl. We were sorority together. Guess who
and I
got the
know.
job?
Guess who's getting the job?
It's really
The person
like,
I know.
it's
Make
short down
connections,
inside.
do internships, and just always put yourself out there. When you meet somebody new, hi, this is my name.
You have
this
to be
is
nice
where
to
I go.
everybody.
But I
This
can't
is what I
know
do.
who
They could end up.
You have to like it's so
That
like
is
look,
not
you
the
can
energy you
hate
have.
people, but like you gotta be able to
Bro,
say,
like-
okay, I hate people, but what's
And it's
going
not
to
even
put
being like fake.
the
It's
money
having
on the
human
table?
decency. Like,
Right.
You just have to be decent to people. Like I don't like
A
if you don't
decent
like
human
them, it
being
doesn't
goes a
matter.
long
You don't have to be overly
way.
nice, but like,
But
if you're,
don't
like,
be a
if you're being straight up rude to them, you never know. They could be your boss in like
Bro, and then
3
you might
years.
know you might need from them. Period.
Exactly. You might need
With what
something.
face are you gonna
never
be
know.
like, hey, I need your help?
Right, like it. Look, if I go and I smack Armani, right?
You'd be wrong though, right?
I think she said she's gonna smack you back.
I definitely dragged her 30
I
minutes
heard
ago.
it.
Let's be real.
It was in her head, but I heard it.
So okay, so if I smack Armani, right, and I'm like, I don't need this. I tell off everybody in here. I don't need this job. I quit. I leave, and then I come back like what 3 weeks later because
You're broke.
I'm broke.
Right.
I wasn't the
Label.
first one up, or what is it? The next one up, like I thought I was gonna be.
Oh, you thought you wanted to come
And then I
up.
come back, and I'm like,
thought she was
hey,
something.
and they're like, nah, like you're not. Would you like this why? Like people get fired every day. Be like, you're not about to come back from this. You can't burn all of your bridges and then try to swim to the other
You
side.
remember when Andy burned all his bridges? Andy in the office.
Oh my god! Burned all of
Okay,
his
it doesn't
bridges.
apply because not all you watch The Office.
But it's The Office.
It's
like,
basically like somebody like he wanted to pursue a career in like
singing
entertainment, basically the
Singing, yeah.
entertainment industry, and he was working a regular 9-to-5 job at a
at
desk.
a paper company.
At a freaking paper company. And so then he decided that he wanted to pursue his dream. And then he's like, no, I can't do this because I'm always going to feel like I have this place. It's going to be my safety net. It's going to be my backup. So I'm going to burn all my bridges. He told everyone off. He's like, I'm leaving. And then he decided, he flopped. And he almost tried to get his job back as a boss. But they're like, I don't know about all that. But maybe you could work as a regular person. Like a
Like
desk
a
person.
janitor.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he came back
He was
as
a janitor for like a minute.
A while.
It took him like maybe half a season to come back.
And that's only because it's a TV show. Please do not think that you're gonna come back and
You're
be
not.
the boss.
You're not.
That
You're
was a
not.
special
You'll be escorted
occurrence.
out by security.
That was a special
Hanks.
occurrence. Oh, yes, it was.
Well.
Okay, so now should we move on to
What?
like
I have a question. So if you can change, like as in taking away the SATs, would you do that in order to get into college? Like, if
Yeah.
we
I
can-
wouldn't
like,
take it
if you
away,
could-
but I would
Do
change
you
it.
I'd
think
make
that
it
we can
optional.
eliminate the SATs?
Let's be real.
I don't
wouldn't
think
take it
I
away, I
would
would change it.
Don't get me
2
wrong.
of my schools were test optional, and I was thankful for that.
Honestly.
A lot
did
of my
send it.
schools were test optional.
None.
There's obviously
no, a lot of my
Oh, they were.
No,
A lot of them were.
No,
I
I make the
honestly-
process. Do you think that would make the process a little bit easier?
A
Yes.
lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
wait, yes, because
procrastination.
it definitely cost a whole $12 to send off my scores anyway. They're
No,
my
each
scores.
school though.
Like, what? This is mine.
B waiver.
All
B
right.
waiver.
I'm about to
So-
smack her
Wait.
mouth.
Thank you for
See, I
reminding
guess
me.
there's ways out of that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
No,
let's say like
relate.
this.
Question mark.
Not everybody has a fee waiver, so we're not gonna talk about that.
Anyway, all right, so we can't eliminate SATs. No.
I would change
No, the SAT cannot be eliminated for the fact that there are people that do bad in school.
Exactly.
But let's say,
Right.
let's say
Right.
that somebody has a 1.7 GPA and they're just like so bad, like, or I don't know what their circumstances might be, but like they get like 1,500 on the SAT. Like it might be because like they're going through something or they're just like I don't know, but like it just
But
it gives a way. Yeah, it
opportunity.
gives a way to show like your actual like your true intellect. And maybe you're not the best at like maintaining grades, or maybe you just I don't know like whatever
So
it may
in that
be.
case,
But that's
should
why it should be more optional. That's why I feel like it should be optional.
Okay.
I just
because
feel
if you're not
like-
doing
you
good in
can't
high
take it away.
school, now to go and take
or maybe
that
I'm doing
same
great.
energy and bring it to college.
Maybe I'm
You know what I
doing
mean?
great
No, the
in
same-
school,
no.
but I'm a terrible test taker.
No, but the same thing could
See,
go
that's what I'm
backwards. And that's what it would
trying to
help
get
more
at.
for, because like the optional the fact of it being optional would help if like you did so good like as a high school student, like let's say I have like a 3.7 GPA, I'm doing really good, but I'm just so bad at taking tests and I'm totally
Literally.
like flipping out when I just like I don't know, everything like leaves my mind and I get such a bad score and it's just like, and then you have to send that score and it's just like what?
So it's nice
Right.
to see that academic proof, that
Yeah.
chance to show your academic proof.
No, but I'm pretty sure even if like, your SAT and GPA do not add up, they get mad suspicious and they will make you retake it, because that's definitely happened.
So what would you like to see change that would like eliminate
I'd like
some
to make
stress?
it for one free, or well, if it's gonna be optional, it doesn't have to be free. But like I shouldn't have to
I feel
pay
like I
to
should be
send my
prepared for it more.
like
Or at
in
least
school,
not as heavy.
during school.
know?
There's ways around that.
Around what paying?
Paying to send your scores.
How though?
So only if you have a
Oh,
fee
You
waiver.
really have a resource sitting right here. She can help you.
But that's
It's
only
like-
if listen,
I
the thing
can't
is,
help y'all.
So when
But
I'm
it's
getting
like-
paid?
like, explain it.
Because I know, like, in my Avid class, my
I wish I took Avid.
I took it 8th grade and then that was it.
Avid helps a lot. But in my Avid class, a lot of the kids, like, they don't have free reduced lunch, something like that. And she's like, okay, well, we're gonna figure out a way to get you a fee waiver so you don't have to pay to send off your scores, or so you don't have
because
to
it costs
pay.
to apply to colleges.
Yeah, it
by the way.
costs a lot. And like I don't know what they do.
Oh, Clemson
but, like,
University, they want
call the
$70.
school, or like they do something, or they like talk to your guidance counselor, and like
Manhattanville is
they have to do a lot, but it
75.
can happen for them to get you a waiver where you can send your stuff off for free.
As if they don't get all money already.
I know I can.
But I feel like you gotta really talk, like really be like, look,
It's-
I can't do this.
Mm-hmm.
I need this to be done.
Yeah, but
But
even
even
closed
then-
mouths
That's what
don't get fed. If you
yeah.
don't say anything, obviously
Yeah,
nobody's gonna be
like,
like,
I
oh,
just got a
here's
fee
here, here's
waiver.
fee waiver.
But
today.
it's like, yeah, but it's like even if you do ask and you do say, listen, like I really think I need this, like I need a fee waiver, but you still don't qualify for free or reduced lunch. There's not much that like
But you
I'm not
don't
saying
lose
there's not
anything
much
in
that they can
asking.
do, but it's gonna be really difficult.
That's
so
why
it's like
you have to get in with the guidance counselors, because I definitely barely ever qualified for anything because I was still under the name of my father, and he's living swell, but I wasn't. So I wasn't actually qualifying for anything. But I'm like I get you guys are saying like, oh, my guidance counselor is like on maternity leave, or like this isn't here. Every
You gotta go to
guidance
another
counselor
guidance
there
counselor.
was my guidance counselor.
If when there's a will, there's a way.
Everybody.
I started off like disliking my guidance counselor so much.
No, my like.
And I mean, I
does not
still
like me.
don't like him that much.
Who is
But
Okay.
like why
I
we
had
can't
him.
why are
We
we
treated
saying
him.
names? We can't say names.
Yeah, we should have gave him like.
I don't.
Now they're gonna
I'll
know.
try to put a.
Mr.
my
Boo!
guidance counselor's name,
It's terrible.
That's
We've
still a
already-
hit.
Now
Oh
they
my
know
gosh.
we
Okay.
don't.
Mr. Boo.
No,
All right,
I'm
so I like started off just like my guidance counselor so much because I didn't think like he helped me whatsoever. Like he left me out a lot of things. Like if I did go talk to him, it was like I was like cutting into his time or like whatnot. And like when it came down to college stuff, like junior year, I didn't know anything that was going on. I didn't know about Common App. I didn't know I had to keep updating my stuff on Naviance. And like he didn't push it for me to like, oh, you have to do this
You have
at
to
this
do
point in time.
that, yeah.
You have to go email your teachers, request references, everything like that. Like the entire summer, like junior year going to senior year, I did none of that. Because I didn't know, because like
Oh, I
he
didn't
didn't tell me. But then I went back to school and like, because all my friends like over summer were like, oh yeah, you know, I did this and this.
yeah,
Did you
this
send
is-
your
and
recommendation
you're kinda like-
to teachers?
Exactly. And so I went back to school and I actually really sat down and talked to him. I was like, this needs to be done. And he's like, okay. Like, I feel like the more, but
You have to be persistent.
I don't want to
with
really
counselors.
blame it on him as saying like, oh, yeah, he didn't come to me because there's a whole bunch of other kids that he has to like deal with.
Keep up with.
So it's more of like, he wasn't the best, but I still wasn't like going to him be like, yes,
It's like a 50-50 type of situation.
But like when I got back to school, I was on his case. Like I see my guidance counselor probably like 3 times out of the week.
She was left.
So this is the question. So, are your parents involved in this process?
Not at all.
Like
No.
as
They
far
don't
as-
know. They don't
and
know
they
what
don't
to
know
do.
what to
Gina just got
So-
involved,
they're
and
gonna
she
know.
swears because she did like 2 years, and because her brother was like already working at the school she went to, she's got connections. But like,
That's not the
Not
case.
it's
So-
not the case at all.
I'm just asking because my oldest 2 daughters, they didn't really show an interest in going to college. As far as actually going to college, it was more like trade school type of thing. But now I have, my freshman
Trade school
here
needs to be promoted.
who is definitely looking into college, as an athlete, of course. But so this is actually, the process is giving me information that I don't have because situations are different with each of the kids at home. So I've already been to the school. I'm already asking questions. That's why I'm asking, how involved are your parents in this?
My mom doesn't know anything.
No.
Like
My
I'm the first generation. Because my sister had her kid. She didn't really go to college on time, and she had to like wing it to get there. So I've always been like my mom's smart kid, like the good girl, whatever. She wasn't prepared for that. Now she's at a stage where she's like, which is why she likes that I'm with you and James that actually know it, like the stuff. Oh, sorry. But like B. But like she likes that I'm with you guys, just because she knows you guys are the only place I'm gonna get that like.
I mean, it's a learning
help
process
from.
for me
Yeah.
because I learn just as much as you guys learn when we go on trips and everything. I'm learning with you.
But the thing is, I feel like I'm getting the support from you guys that I don't get from my school and I don't get from my family. My family is like the doy, like they don't know anything.
The doy.
On my mom's side. And my dad's side, they're the only people who went to college like that, which are my cousins, but they're not in my life. And my school, Miss Blank, because I don't want to say her name because I don't want to make you beep out more stuff than you need to. She like comes in once a year. I don't see her, and when I've only seen her when I'm trying to leave the school, and that's the only time where she shows
I'm
interest.
leaving.
So convenient. Like,
Please, very convenient.
Right. How you
I'm
want to try to
I'm-
help me now
I'm
because I want to
showing
leave.
an interest now, and
So tight. I am tight.
I just feel like you might want to have your parents maybe, go take a trip, have a meeting with your counselor. I mean, if your parents are knowledgeable, maybe they can push a little button and, kind of push them a little bit. If not,
parents
not
do
likely.
hold weight. People listen more when it's people's parents.
She's entered.
But the thing is, like, I feel like I would have to educate my mom about stuff I don't even know about.
Mm-hmm.
And then my guidance counselors, I don't even know how they would speak and, like, get it across
to
my
make her
mom.
understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, see, my mom doesn't know much, and I don't know anything. So it's just like,
Honestly,
if I don't
I
know
feel
how,
like
I'm gonna
a
expect her
big
to.
problem was like I didn't know what questions to ask.
Right.
Like I could
Yeah.
ask like, okay, how do I pay for it? Or what can I do? And it's like, oh well, you can just supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and that's how it's gonna work. And it's just,
This
I'm
is like-
staring at you like,
It's like
what,
I feel like
strip?
it's especially
like
hard
what do you
because
need
like
me to do?
the thing is like since my brother goes to college, it's like a lot easier because it's somebody who goes to college and like they have the experience and they
I'm the
understand
oldest.
it.
I didn't have that. Sorry.
But then again, like
my
it's
brother
hard
dropped out.
because like every time I go to like
But I mean-
him or like a guidance counselor, they're just like, oh yeah, you have to apply to scholarships. Well, every time I try to apply to a scholarship, there's always something, or just like I feel like
Right.
Has
the
any
questions
scholarship
that
said yes to you?
no.
Bye.
Oh, no.
Literally,
Yo, I've
we
signed
are
up for
sorry
mad
to inform
scholarships.
you.
Alright.
All right, so as I was talking about, yeah, so I just feel like in general, I'm not asking, and especially like the colleges that I did get accepted to, I feel like whenever I try to look for like the frequently asked questions on the website, it's like still not answering the questions I have, and it's like I don't want to I really don't want to put the effort into like asking the admissions and like all those people because it's just like
Because they'll be like, oh well, it's on the website.
like exactly, and then
It's
I
like
don't
I'm
find
not-
it on the website or the pamphlet,
And it's like, I'm sorry,
You're
I'm
like,
not
hey.
half-assing. I just really don't.
I really
understand
don't
what you're
understand
writing
it.
down.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just scared I'm not gonna get accepted into college.
Don't. That's exactly what I said. I was like, oh.
That's my fear.
Bye.
I'm like,
I mean,
damn,
as long
did I
as
not do enough?
but you have to apply to realistic schools. Don't be applying to Yale, sis.
Exactly.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you gotta apply to schools that are at least like a match or safety.
This
Mine
girl
has,
was so.
like, yes.
She was like so she felt like she just like nobody would ever turn her down. She applied to only Ivy League, like literally only Ivy League.
Did she get it?
She got into nothing. Came around May and she was like still waiting on. I think it was like
Harvard,
Yale or somebody, and it was like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like you haven't. She hasn't come up with a backup plan. So she was screwed. Like she was absolutely screwed, and I was like, wow. And she's like sitting there like absolutely destroyed, and it's like I feel bad for you because I didn't get in my dream school either, and I quit school like after that rejection. I was like, all right, I'm never coming back. There's literally nothing else.
There's nothing else that
I quit school for probably like 2 months before I was like, all right, let's get it together. But she like,
let's do this again.
Nobody said all right, maybe. Nobody like said waitlist. Everybody said absolute hard. No.
That's what I fear. I don't want that.
Nobody. Okay, but you're not applying for Princeton, Yale, and Harvard as your top 3.
I mean,
don't do that.
I did it.
Yeah.
I like searched up schools that like met that I met their requirements. Like I met their GPA requirements. I met their SAT and everything, and I looked at their like acceptance rate and everything, and like it's.
Wait, can I just add in? The school that I got into today, my counselor said that it was my reach school. So she was trying to say that me going there was a reach. Well, sis.
Well, congratulations, Ashley.
Yeah.
My thing
she
is,
really tried.
It's just like a fear. And I'm at a point too that like I find like finding a college so confusing. Like all of it's just
listen. This is all you have to do.
I had no idea what school I wanted to go to. I literally found out maybe like the very end of junior year and the very beginning of senior year did I even know. And like all the like I only knew about like 2 schools that I liked. The other 3 schools that I ended up applying to, I found out about very recently. Like, I did not know what schools.
Here, like if you're having trouble with that, this is what you have to do. Whether it's on Naviance or it's like on scholarships.com or like college like Greenlight something, try to find a scholarship match. Put like your income, put like all the majors and minors you're interested in, whether you're interested in like being involved on campus, whether you want to go to like a rural, urban, suburban area, city area, if you want to go into like somewhere that's, you know, PWI, HBCU.
I don't know what any of that means.
Predominantly white. Yeah, predominantly white.
There's such thing as predominantly white.
Yeah, that's like UConn. That's like that's everything else.
What's it called?
PWI.
PWI.
That's predominantly white is basically every college.
That's not.
That's not an
But
HBCU.
then none of them say that.
Because that's what it is.
That's what it just is.
That's just what it is.
So if it doesn't say anything,
they can't say they can't say like, oh, we're predominantly white, because if you say like, oh, I'm predominantly white, then it can't boost up my diversity rates when I'm sending you this. Hey, come here and I'll send you like 30 G's out of a scholarship, like already off.
Listen, Layla, Lily, you're good, especially because like you're a Hispanic female.
Right.
And like right tech is so easy to get grades A, so you probably have honors every single quarter, and you just said you got 1,000. Like trust me, you're getting.
Yeah, you'll be good.
I don't know. There's
like I said, just definitely do a match. Then it's gonna put like the school that it's like you highly match with. Then it's gonna put some schools that like are reaches, but you can still qualify for, and the schools that are safety, like you're gonna get in. Like no matter what, you're gonna.
Yeah,
get in.
bro.
Yeah.
Because
that's the schools I applied to. Yeah.
So you touched on how you handled your rejection.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Now,
I'm so bad at handling rejection.
I mean, I don't know if you guys want to share, but I'd like to know, like, how, like, you know,
rejection in general.
Yeah, so
no rejection
like,
from school.
You got a rejection?
Yeah. I didn't tell anyone this because it was like my top school. I was like I applied to, and that's where I like really wanted to go. Because at the time I wanted to go like down south and everything.
Literally same.
And then I went down south for Thanksgiving, and like I spent like a week or so like down there, and I was like, I don't really want to like be in college down here. Like I was like, everything is so far away. Like I just didn't want to be down there anymore. And so like the other day it came in the mail. And then I already knew it was a rejection letter because I feel like
it was like thin. It was like when it's a thin envelope.
And it's a rejection letter. And if it's like a packet or at least like it feels a little thicker, like it at least has 2 papers in there, it's not rejection. So I was like, great. And so I opened it and I was just like, wow.
Wait, what school was it to?
I don't know.
But I just wanted to know how you guys are like.
I just kind of honestly, what I did, I read it and then I do the paper. and I wet in my room. Like
See,
I
we don't need that negativity
anyway.
anyway.
Wet in my room.
I mean,
Only
you
because
can't
I
put,
got
like,
accepted.
you know, this one
Bro,
right here.
no,
That's
because
like
I
life,
definitely,
like-
I got, because it wasn't even like I got the letter. It was like, all right, we're going to be posting it in the portals at this time. And so I'm like, all right, mind you, I'm about to go into work. So I'm like, okay, should I?
Like moment of
Fuck
truth.
it. So I opened it and I'm sitting there and I was like,
I mean, there's a point where everyone has to deal with some type of rejection anyway.
And it was like, honestly,
I mean, like, be it
the
acceptances or anything, knowing how to handle rejection.
and it was
is
honestly,
kind
and
of
I feel like it was more harsh because it was my first rejection, and it was like the one school that I was like, if I get in here, it's like I'm falling face first into debt. I don't care.
Yeah.
Forget it. So
It'd be like that.
I was like,
really
and
be
I
like
like
that.
I've just dragging it the whole time because like deep down I knew because like it wasn't even like I was reaching like every requirement. There was like no for sure. It was just like you get in. It's like somebody was like, all right, whoops, I mixed up the pie. I was like, all right, I for sure need to get in here. So I'm opening it and I'm reading through and I was like, no, they didn't. So I go back and then I go back in and I was like, wow.
They did.
Wow.
They did.
They really did it to me.
Serious.
So I was like, I started crying. I said, all right, time to get pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
So like, yeah.
I was like,
so
I'm
like,
literally never going, like, there's no reason to continue a school.
I mean,
I was like,
what
why?
Armani?
Was it a hard no?
No, it was a hard no, but it was like, it wasn't, I feel like it was just like extremely dramatic. Like it hit me because it was like my first rejection. It was the only school that I really
Did you get to
seen
any
myself.
other school?
I got into mad other schools, but it was like this is the school
It was just that one
wanted to
school.
be
That's
in.
how it was for me. Like I got into a lot of other schools, but then I was like, it made me feel a little bad because I was like, that was my top school. But then I was like, I got into all these other schools.
Yeah,
So
so like
I
that
should
should
say-
outweigh it. But
I didn't open
like because you're kind of
I
just like
didn't
whatever.
realize-
It
I
doesn't
didn't
matter.
care about any of the other schools until it was like, all right, it's been 2 months. I haven't been to classes in probably like a week. Like I'm dragging it. I definitely just stopped like going.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't trying anymore. I was like, all right, I'm here.
Well,
What
It's
now?
30 minutes into class. I'm here. Check me here. Like why are you playing with me? I was in the worst mood. I didn't care. I blew half of my savings. I did not care. It was no point in like trying anymore.
no point.
I was talking to terrible people that I like cut out of my life because they were just not for me. I was like, oh hey guys,
Heard it.
guess who's gonna be in town for the rest of their lives?
It's me
this
again.
girl.
This girl.
Oh my
Like
God,
I
no.
was not having it. I was like, might as well have a son. Name him
Oh,
King.
Oh my
Name him like
God.
Tiger King. I'm gonna get a Toyota Camry. And I'm gonna drive it around. I'm gonna put him in football. And he's gonna be
Okay.
my life.
Oh
Like,
my
I'm
God.
no,
Quote unquote my
please,
life.
please, no.
Okay, like the thing with my rejection letter, like I knew it was a rejection letter because it came in that little white envelope. It was very thin. I was just like, all right.
Oh my
But,
god.
like the thing is, like I wasn't like really butthurt about it though because like one like it was in Massachusetts. Like I have other choices that are in Massachusetts too, but it's like
that one.
one since it was in Massachusetts. Like I thought it would be best because like. Like I thought it would be best because it was like literally one of the most least expensive out of state schools like ever. So I was like, this is a steal. Like the campus looked nice. Like it was a stay and a steal.
So
Like,
you were already prepared to save your parents some money.
yes,
Oh,
I
that's
was.
so
No,
much
I've
better.
been prepared
That
to
was
save my parents'
my
money.
next question, like, are you all on the page of like understanding?
Yeah, that
financial.
Yes,
like what your
definitely.
parents
Yeah.
can do
What I'm gonna
because
do,
you're going to
yeah.
that reach school. You know,
So what?
and
I
if your kid
totally.
No, see, that's
afford
no.
any school. At
So
all.
that's why I
Definitely.
like what's it called? That's why I wasn't really like when I like looked at my portal and then they told me that they updated my portal on email and I clicked on it and then I saw they was updating, but I wasn't like yes, I was happy, but not too happy because the school is so much money that I got in, but it's just like
Is it worth
so
it?
what? So like that's why I wouldn't have been mad at all if they had
That's
rejected me.
same.
I mean, it's an honor to know that I was capable of getting in. That they're like, oh my god, like you're like you can come here, of course. But like it's not really realistic, especially like a lot of schools they be asking for a little too
lot.
much, and
Mad
especially
bread.
because it's like that was basically just tuition and like housing because I wouldn't be able to
Right.
do that far.
Yes.
So it's just a
It's
little bit too
ridiculous.
much money. So it's just like, yeah, I got in, but like, am I really going?
I mean,
Like,
you
Right.
don't
yeah, that's-
understand your home situations and the burden that it will put on,
It is a
on your
burden.
Definitely.
many families haven't been able to save for their children to go. I mean, look at
Oh no,
how
my
we're living.
family
I have
did,
no idea how
but
I'm
my
gonna pay
savings are
college.
now my house because the house we live in now, that's where all my savings are.
Blew it on.
Oh my god, I
Glued
don't
on
know if
that.
you've ever seen it or like heard it somewhere, like in a TV show, but like they spend all their
Yeah.
kids' savings on like a beach house.
Yes,
Right.
that was definitely I think in Friends.
Yeah.
No, but it's
Like, they-
I'm
honestly,
not mad about
I mean,
it.
just,
you know,
you just have to consider all of those, things when you're applying for colleges. Yeah, I mean, of course you want to go to your dream college, but those
No, that was my
usually
first
cost
choice.
a pretty penny.
It
And,
is.
a
I'm
little
not
too pretty of a penny. I don't know.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but I feel
realistically,
like-
how many kids do you know in your school that you deal with that actually have that check to write to?
I went to
Like,
West
like,
Hill,
like,
so
especially
Well,
like,
you
that's
know,
why I
a lot of
I'm friends with
Northsiders.
I went to school with a lot of
Stanfords.
Northsiders that were like, oh, I mean, I don't even think I'm gonna go to college. I think I'm gonna take a year off and just like travel to Europe. And I
For
was like,
what?
alright.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna
God.
find myself. I'm gonna find myself in the mountains of
like,
TW.
Oh my
what
gosh.
about your close people? Like,
Not
you know
even- and
what I
it was
mean?
like,
all my
even
close
then.
people.
Yeah,
We
all
all
my
wonder
close
how we
people.
looking for
Can you
college.
really?
Right.
I'm going to be struggling. Debt? I think so.
And that's what I'm saying. You gotta
Student-
understand that this is
student
gonna become your
loan
debt.
I
You
know.
do understand that this is gonna
Yeah.
become your debt. So
Like-
you
yeah, no,
have
my
to think
teacher, my
really
English
Yeah.
teacher, she like
prepared
literally
for this.
recently just finished. Like she literally just
Just
finished
finished
paying
paying
it
off.
off, and she's
People
been teaching for a
pay-
while.
People
No,
pay
she's still
for
fairly
their
young, but she's
stuff.
like still
No.
paying.
No, but it's
Like, she
happened to
just-
me. Like teachers be like 50 and they're still
Still
paying it
paying it
off, and I'm like,
Like, this is the thing, though.
Listen,
Like,
I
I was-
got like 40,000 debt right now.
Like,
okay? And I'm still
logic-
not done.
logically,
Listen.
like, see, that's exactly why, like, when I got into UNH, I was just like, ooh, woo, woo, I'm excited, but $58K per year, not gonna happen.
that's the thing. It sucks that it holds you back, though. That's the thing that I hate. I wish, like, I want to go to a school where I know I could succeed and expand as a person, and then to think, oh, I can't go there because of my financial status.
I mean, they
It's
have
really
to. It's not that
twisted.
much.
I mean, but what are
It-
you doing? I mean, outside of like what we have handed to you, what are you doing to push
I'm
those
scholarships.
scholarships? Like, what are you doing? Like,
No,
are
the
In
you
thing
class, I've
is,
been applying and
housing
applying
the
and applying.
pavement? Like, are you on every website?
I'm trying.
wanna-
I
but the
but
thing
some of
is,
them is
scholarships
just for
are literally
specific people.
Too
Big facts.
hard, especially because
And they're
it's
really
kinda
hard.
Like,
They say,
there's
like,
always gonna
money's
be someone
everywhere, but
smarter
it's
than
But
you.
like-
it's
And like
it's
it's
hard.
just
It's hard to
there's
grasp
gonna
onto.
be
honestly.
somebody
And
with
that
that
gives you the
4.0
whole-
GPA with that 1600,
And it's
like
like-
I'm here like
Yeah.
But
Hey,
can I
like,
have-
like either like they
I've
just
watched The
want
Office
somebody.
37 times in a
But
row.
don't not apply because you feel that way. How do you know you're not gonna be that smart
No,
person?
but
No,
I-
it's not
I know.
even like you're not that smart
Yeah.
person.
Listen,
It's more
I'm
like
trying. I'm trying to apply to this award that I randomly saw, like looking and looking and looking through various sites for like scholarships, and I'm looking for this one because I know if I don't get scholarships, I'm not going to college.
But see, this is why I asked you this question. Like, you're
10
not
parts.
graduating this year. Like, how soon did you guys start looking?
oh see like
No,
shortly over
definitely
here, junior
early.
year,
I
I'm
started
looking for
using, like,
scholarships, and
junior
you haven't
year.
even accepted. been
I
accepted
started
to a
junior
school,
year
so you're
because,
definitely
like,
ahead of time. See, I was a little too late
I
because I
started
was just
junior
like,
year.
no, I didn't.
But the thing is, like,
This is like 10
I
parts to get the like even like into the raffle. Or
It
whatever.
is.
It's like 10 parts just to even get a
yeah,
chance.
scholarships are actually hard,
It
harder than
is.
you think.
they drag it. They're like,
but-
oh, money's everywhere, but it's like you
It's
need to make sure
not.
you're like you
So
have
are
to
your
be
parents
missing an
helping you with
eye, you have
that?
to be
Like,
missing
no?
a
So-
leg.
For the scholarship?
Okay, so the thing
getting-
is,
Well, actually,
like,
my mom.
I straight up told her, like, I want to go on campus. Like, I do not want to go to Stanford, like Stanford, UConn. Like,
Oh my god.
like I don't like
Sorry,
I
do
don't
not go
yeah
catch me.
no like I don't
Yeah,
care like I don't care if I have to apply for a loan. I'll do it. Like, she doesn't want me to apply for a freshman year. Like, at least like later. But like I told her, like, I literally do not want her to worry at all. Like, I'll put that stress on myself. Like, I do not want her
But
to
you
worry
can't
at
even
all.
you can't even like do that.
Yeah.
And it's like
you can't apply for a loan until you're 24 years old. You
No,
can't
no,
apply
but
for a
she-
loan
no,
until I graduate.
no, but she can put it under her name and I can still pay for it.
Oh.
Yeah, so, like,
Oh.
yeah. See, like, I already I already thought about it.
Yeah.
Oh, the
And
next
so,
finger.
Layla, I know you're on the younger side. So, like,
Yeah.
what are you doing to prepare? Like,
What are you thinking?
Are
Crying.
you, are you ready for all this?
Cry.
Like, are you hearing all
Honestly,
this?
I
Like,
remember
we're stressed.
I remember I think what's his name over there was like, so what colleges do you like? And I was like, I was like,
Yeah,
college?
you guys all got stuff.
College?
You said that, like, where do you
Yeah.
guys want to go? And you're just like,
That was
Yeah.
me.
Because I don't remember, like, I was like,
Oh.
me personally, like, I don't really know colleges like that, but I know, like, I'm doing, like, I'm doing this, that. I do like something like almost like every day of the week except for like Friday. So
I mean, you're good. Like,
you're working on
definitely when you apply to colleges and, like, when you do internships and all that stuff, like, your resume is going to look really good because, like, you're always volunteering and you're in this program, that program. They're going to see that, like, you're within the community. Because, like, because I feel like
your grades are good.
Yes, and your grades are good because I
You
feel
need
like
to maintain that. Like, keep that.
and especially like on Common App, it'll be like, okay, we see this and that is in your resume. So would you like? So if you were to be accepted to the school, would you like to be a part of a program that's similar to that when you go onto campus? So that way, like it kind of like you can always say no, thank you, but like it's better. Like I put yes for all of them because you never know, you know. But yeah.
I'm excited for like programs I want to be part of in college. Like I'm really thinking about being in a sorority because I like the goals and thoughts they have in mind.
I
like the idea.
I mean, I understand though but they're very preppy. Like I just feel like I can't match up.
I can't. That's why I was looking at LIU Brooklyn. And I was looking at a sorority they have there, and it's just Hispanic girls, and I loved it.
And like black sororities.
Well, see, now you're gonna go. You're gonna go there in February. You're gonna get a feel and see if it's what you like.
But then I'm scared about like maybe like a sorority too, because even if it's a Hispanic one, there be Hispanic girls that be acting white.
I'm pretty
sure Hispanic girls that be acting.
Because Shorty over here just said that there's white.
To the other side. What are you trying to say?
No, I don't want to say black.
Dwayne's holding his hand. So wait, as far as going away.
Dwayne wanted some.
So we have our friend Dwayne. He's asking a question.
He has entered the chat.
And he's been here for quite some time, but we didn't think he was going to talk, but now
So we
he
didn't
is, so
introduce
please
him, but
listen
here's
up.
his introduction. Hi, Dwayne.
Hi guys.
We don't live in Stanford.
The way to give away our location.
Or Connecticut.
What's that?
So my question for you, Lil, is why does it matter whether it's a Hispanic sorority that acts white or a Hispanic sorority that acts black?
Inclusion.
I feel like I personally do want to go to a diverse school just because, I don't know, ever since I was little, I've always felt like left out by that kind of like type of people that I've always felt more comfortable and more diverse environment that like I feel like it's my environment.
No,
like,
it's because
they're
like,
not people who try to act like something else.
No, I mean
It's
like
like they act
because
like
personally,
themselves.
like all my
act like
friends,
themselves.
like growing up, all my friends have been black, and it's mostly because like we all like we were grown up in the same area. We were disciplined the same. Like all of our circumstances were very similar, so that's why I connect more with people of that race than say a white person that's more privileged, and you know they get to. It works because like a white person. Like or I don't know. Anyways,
not all white people.
I mean, like I don't like talking about race, but like whatever. So so they would be able to like go out like on a Friday or Saturday, like like let's go out.
Yeah, let's
like,
do this. Let's do that. It's like I can't.
Let me.
My mom's not in a good mood.
Exactly.
Or like I had one yesterday. I can't have.
I can't.
Right.
I can't have fun. What are you talking about?
So because I've been working 3 to 6, so like 7 to 8. Nah, like I've already been out the house for 2 months. My mom
right.
home
Exactly.
and she wants me there.
Home.
And so that's like I don't really like bringing up race, but it's just you kind of have to notice that it's there. There is that difference in the way that we are raised, and it's just how it is, and it shouldn't be taken any type of way because they have their things, we have ours. Yeah. It's just like we're just very culturally different, so that's why I feel like maybe I would be friends with, and I have had friends that have been white, but it's just like we don't.
It's harder to relate.
It's easier to connect. It's easier to connect with somebody like
that's
a
been
color.
through it.
I've definitely
they understand.
Like
no, but I mean I've definitely been able to. I'm screaming.
Like, have you not?
Yes, sandals, belts.
Right.
So it's
in that
easy.
sense, I understand because my
the
mom is
chancleta.
white.
No.
Exactly.
I didn't get no chocolates
Or,
thrown
like,
at me.
spatula,
Like, you understand what I'm saying?
everything.
But on the dad's side was a different story.
Yeah.
I totally get what
Yeah.
you're
My mom
saying.
threw a
I
hot
feel like it's hard,
spatula
though.
at
Like my mom.
See,
just
I
You
mean,
shouldn't have tried
honestly, can you not say that? They're gonna call your mother, be like,
You
DCF, like,
shouldn't have tried
Right,
that.
right.
Social service. You knew better. You knew exactly what you were
You're
doing.
off the too hard on your mom right now.
Did you say something? Did you say something?
Half of the stuff is gonna be edited.
Bro,
You know?
no. Because she really opt out so hard on her mom, but bro, something
Right.
like,
Yo, let her come back. Let her come back.
excuse me.
What's at my house? What's at my house?
Or like there be
Michaela has whipped out her moccasin.
there be certain people like even like they have different experiences where my like I used to go to Schofield or like
Yeah,
leave out.
Schofield.
I used to go to Schofield. You know how white people went there.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, like
colors
in the woods.
What do you want to come over? Came over to the house. We had people for guys were over this and that, and I'm like, I can't even go to a
Oh my God,
anymore 'cause my mom don't trust anyone like that.
I've never gone to like a Friday night skating. I hadn't been to a single middle school.
Whenever
and
people
it's
would go to
just
Friday night skate, sorry.
Bro, and like people would ask me, or like people would still to this day, my parents are like that. Like people would be like, "Oh, let's chill, let's
do
hang.
this, let's do that.
What are you doing after school?" Like,
I
okay,
need
first of all,
5
I
days in a
work.
day.
And
First of
after
all,
that,
right.
I do. Like, it's just I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. Like they don't know that about me. That's
They
why
really
I'm so
don't.
close and so closely attached to the people that I do know now because they understand that about me. They're not gonna question it. Like, oh, like you just so.
They're not gonna keep on
antisocial,
forcing it.
You're such a
Right.
homebody. Like my parents made me a
homebody.
because
Like
they never really let me the chance of like going out, and it doesn't have much to do with like trust with me. It's just more like with trusting the people outside.
Yeah,
and what they'll
exactly.
being a woman.
Yeah.
Being,
Especially,
I feel like
oh my
being
God.
a woman overall.
That's a
Be,
whole
like being
different
of like no,
discussion.
we are definitely raised differently than males. Like it's just a fact. Like there's no going around with it. And I know people say that we should be like raised the same law, and obviously they want the best for their kid. But like you can only do so much. Like there's such a fine line between protecting your kid and like putting them in a box.
Yeah.
And I think
you
that
put them in that box, and then they
And
get
then-
to this age
and
where
then-
they're
and I
in
can say as a
public.
parent,
They're
those are
just
mistakes
that I have made.
No,
Those
yeah.
are definitely
Sorry.
mistakes that I've made and I've learned over, you know.
And I
You
want
try to-
I
yeah, you
definitely
try to
want to
keep them
point
in that
out. I
box,
want to
but-
point out that the more you say no to a kid, if you say no to so many things,
They're gonna.
that will make them
All right,
rebel
so I'm just
against
gonna
so
do
much
this
more
anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna be like,
It's gonna make her
Is it okay that I say no because he was acting up?
It's okay.
Yeah,
Look,
right.
there's like
Right.
no, but
Listen,
see, there's
listen,
like
I
there's
didn't
saying no
finish.
because
I
it's
didn't
consequence,
finish.
and then
Hold
there's
up.
also saying no
Hold
because
up.
you should be
no,
doing
no,
it.
no,
Yeah.
no, no. If I say no, if you could say like no to like let's say like 10 things, right? Maybe I only wanted to do 2 of those things, but like now I'm gonna do 5 of them just because you keep telling me no, you keep telling me no, and it's so hard. And I understand, like honestly, like no parents are perfect, and especially because like there's no surefire way to like how you should like teach a kid or like how you should raise your kid. There's no like book, there's no manual, and maybe there are, but like it's so specific to
What to
your
expect
kid
when you're
and how it is. It's
Yeah.
just it's so it will always be different. It will always be different with each child. Even if you're a mother and you have 3 kids, all 3 of your kids will go through different
They're
things.
all
So there's just no way
my
to know what
siblings
to
and I
do.
are completely different people.
No, we have different
My
kids
kids are
now.
completely different.
and it's ridiculous because like growing up, you know, my mom was like very, you're gonna do what I say or I'm going to beat you.
Right.
Because I said so.
At the end of the day, like I'm gonna give you your space, but you're gonna do what I say.
Yeah.
Because I said
Or
so.
I'm going to take off my shoe and beat you in public. So it was like, all right, what choice do I have? So when I go around and I'm like, you know, and I'm seeing and I'm seeing her like
Dwayne has
as
exited
an
the chat.
adult, I'm seeing her like talk to other kids like, oh, don't talk to them like that. Don't do, and it's like, Gina, what? Beat her with a shoe. What are you talking about?
You act like you didn't do that to me, like
Right, like beat her with a shoe. But I mean,
Oh wait, are you talking about your siblings?
I like.
yes.
Oh my god! Wait! Let me go to a little mini rant. Okay, so
Oh, man.
my parents did this really cute thing where like they tested everything out with me, and now they want to do the best for my sisters.
Because you're the oldest.
And it's just like I was their test rat. Like I was literally cheating. I was cheating.
Maureen, cut it out because you're the baby. I am the baby.
No. Because they definitely like. I mean, honestly, I'm not like that mad about it because like I mean, at least my sisters get to be raised better.
No, but it's like, why did why did I have to experience the childhood trauma while you get to walk around mad at the world because you're doing literally everything wrong, but you're still getting snuggles and kisses because all you need is love and guidance.
My sister is a spoiled brat.
I got
to my jack, yo. Wait, no. My sister is a spoiled brat. Has she met the belt? No, she has not.
Stop, really? Wait, you better.
No, she should.
Honestly, like what I've realized is that like strict parents make sneaky kids.
No, but
Strict parents, sneaky kids.
Like you might
think you're doing
good for your kid, but you're really not.
Right.
All right, so
But as the parent, can't you guys just have to understand? All right.
have to understand at 6 years old.
You have to understand that, like, I don't want my kids doing the same things that I was doing, so you kind of try to prevent those things.
Yeah.
And
You have
have
to,
the-
you have to
my
like
sister
you
really can't.
You
I
have
never
to
thought of.
no. You have to
I'm
teach
like,
your kids enough and then trust
you
that
mad
they
my
know right
sister.
from wrong and they will do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like honestly, you can't like just you just gotta have enough trust in them. You have to talk to them enough and have that type of relationship with them that you know that even if they are exposed to that circumstance, they will do the right thing.
Yeah. See, and I feel like
All
my
right,
sister.
guys.
My sister was very different. My sister throughout her teenage years, she was walling. like crazy.
Wall?
Like,
Can I say bye to them?
Wait, I'm just gonna and then
We're wrapping it up.
Okay,
But, like,
so
she be sneaking out of the house. I can't even imagine sneaking out of the house. Like that idea itself scares me because I know I would get my bleep whooped.
all right.
I just want to say no. Before our lovely Marine closes out, tea time is being closed. But I just want to say goodnight, Streaks. Thank you. Like, hey, no, and like, comment, and subscribe. Share to your friends. Thank you.
I literally don't have time for this. All right, so thank you for listening to our podcast. Tea Time. Please tune in next week, and we hope you have a nice week and weekend, and good night.